It all, or at least know enough. Calgary Today with Joe McFarland on 770 CHQR.
I was talking all about quality of life and how it's so great in Calgary. Maybe it's because it's Wine Wednesday. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm so uppity today. But Mike Roberts from Co-op Wine, Spirits, and Beer. It is Wine Wednesday, brought to you by Co-op Wine, Spirits, and Beer. Earn on your wine purchases at Co-op where membership pays. Mike, you're back with another vintage, aren't you?
Yeah, I think we brought something pretty cool today. I'm pretty excited to taste it. I'm excited for you to taste it because I think you're going to like it.
I had a laugh talking to Eric last week, and I said, so this is a 2007 here, so it's 11 years old.
Yep.
Last week, I think he brought in like a 2010. Yeah, something like that.
I was jealous.
And I was making fun of him a little bit because I'm like, well, what? I must be like prehistoric in the ages of wine anyways. Yeah. But it's so funny when you talk about the different vintages and that. And that's kind of a big deal that you guys have on now is with the vintage wine. But what is it about the vintage that is so popular? What makes it older that makes it more respectable, I guess? Good.
It's a good question. And I mean, even when we talk about vintage wine, anytime a wine has the year it was made on it, that is the vintage. So that's the year it's made. So technically, pretty much like all wine is, technically vintage wine, right? If it has the year it was made on it, which most wine is. But we use it just sort of like a slang term to say like aged wine or cellared wine, if you will. So it's like vintage stuff. It's, kind of backdated a little bit. So what makes it special is that's the question, and it kind of depends on the wine. But most good wine should evolve and change as time goes on in the bottle. So the consumers tend to drink their wine within like 48 hours of purchase. So we don't seem to drink aged wine as often as you would have back in the old world or 50 years ago, that kind of thing. So we like holding back some wine and even searching to find some wineries to give us some back vintages so people can experience what the wines will taste like if you do age it, if you do cellar it. So I had lots of fun. It was my wedding anniversary recently, and I had saved wine for our 10-year anniversay, the same wine we had at our wedding, which was already 10 years old. So then it was 20, and it was lots of fun to kind of revisit it and taste it again. And it typically wasn't meant to drink right away. I mean, winemaking techniques and technology now, the wine is sort of more approachable in its youth, but generally speaking, wine is kind of meant to age. So
last week Eric brought in a red. This week you brought in a white. Do whites and reds age differently?
Yes, absolutely. There's a couple of different components in there, but I brought a white on purpose today because I think most people think that you can't age white. And I brought you today a German Riesling, and which is probably good quality German Riesling is probably some of the most age-worthy wine you can buy out there, red or white.
Right.
And you'll see this wine is tasting really cool. The big difference between red and white wine is skins and contact with the skins. So you get tannins from the red wine, which is the color comes from the skins. And that sensation you get on your lips and your gums is from the tannins. White wine doesn't have that.
Right.
Over time in the bottle, red wine, the tannins fade. They literally fall to the bottom of the wine and combine with the color of the wine. And the texture literally changes of the wine, and you see that a little bit in white wine. It can seem a little thicker, a little richer, a little softer as well. And Riesling ages for white wine just beautifully, absolutely stunningly. So to say one is better than the other, you can't really give like a blanket statement like that. Right. It depends on the wine, the type of wine, how and where it was aged and the year it was made and all that kind of stuff. So
what's special about German whites?
I think the biggest thing for Riesling, part of two pieces of why it ages so well is just the characteristics in the first place and what they evolve into. So the fruit flavors will change over time. But the biggest thing is Riesling is really high in acid, so it's mouth-watering. So whereas the wine we have today is fairly sweet, there's quite a bit of sugar in there, and then the flavors are evolving into more sort of dried and jammy fruit flavors. The acidity always stays there. It doesn't change. So the wine is always mouth-watering.
Right.
So it always feels and tastes fresh, right? Even though the flavors are kind of changing a little bit. And so that's a big part of, I think, why it ages so well.
Just what I need to do is start salivating on the radio. I'll do the Homer Simpson, when it comes to, I did talk about it just a little while ago, it is getting to the Christmas time. What should people be keeping in mind? Black Friday shopping is a big thing right now. But even beyond that is everybody's starting to plan their Christmas meals. They're planning their Christmas gifts, that kind of thing. When wine's a part of the equation, what should they be keeping in mind?
Yeah, I think we've got our vintage wine blowouts at Shaughnessy and Midtown this Saturday, 12 to 4. So a couple of dozen or a few dozen hand-selected wines that are in and about 10 years or older that we've got pulled out. We can taste, and they'll be on sale for great prices. I think that's a great opportunity to get a good wine gift for somebody in your life that you need to buy a wine gift for, or even if you're hosting or going to be a part of any kind of festivities. It's always fun to open up those wines with some age on it, and everyone kind of goes, ooh, like, what is this? I wonder what it's going to taste like, and all these wines we're going to have on sale are going to be wines that are not going to disappoint for sure. And I think Riesling, especially a wine like this, not only does there that wow factor and that intrigue factor, but it does really, really well with those salty, savory, rich dishes of the season for sure.
Now, we have aged here, but you were telling me just off the mic as well that this time of year used to be a pretty big deal in the wine industry, and we're seeing a bit of a throwback Thursday happening here. Yeah. Explain this one to me.
So Beaujolais Nouveau was a big thing in the 80s. So it's the brand new wine from Beaujolais in France. They make it really quickly, no oak, no maturation. It's like crush it, squish it, ferment it, stick it in a bottle, and ship it out for a big party on the third Thursday of every November. So that would have been last Thursday. So Beaujolais Nouveau Day has come, and we've got a couple of case stacks in our stores of Beaujolais Nouveau, if that's something you want to get into. And it's perfect for the season. The weather's kind of gray out today. It's not so nice out. It's really fruity, juicy, like literally fun wine. Right. It's just really fruity and fun and kind of candied. It's red wine. You can stick it in your fridge, and it's great with pizza. It's great with a sandwich, like fries and gravy, like you name it. Just super easygoing and fun, and sort of marks the season, if you will.
It's so funny how they turn different things into events like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And now all of a sudden you have a tasting party. Have you tried the wine that's come out for that? Or
yeah, it's I love it. I love chilling it, and it's like 17, 18, 19, 20 bucks. And it's just super fruity and fun and casual. As snobby as I am all the time about my wine, sometimes it's fun to, just have something, kind of easy going like that and all that kind of stuff. And that's really what it's for. It's to celebrate the harvest, right? The summer's over, the fall is over. And for the people in France, in Beaujolais, they drink it by the gallon to celebrate that all the hard work is done, and then you drink it while you wait for the other wine to mature in the oak barrel, right?
Oh, okay. So while I try this one, why don't you tell them what this is again and the price point, I guess, for those who are wondering.
Yeah, sure. It's called the Hans Lange. And it's a Hattenheim Riesling, so it's from the Rheingau in Germany. Pretty low alcohol content. It's only 8.5%, so it's a good lunch wine, I suppose.
That is tasty.
It is really yummy, nice and mouth-watering. You can see the color, the depth is there. It's as white wine ages, it actually gets darker, and just loaded with flavor, apricots and like apple jelly or apple jam kind of thing, and is great with pork dishes. Great with charcuterie. If you're going to do like a bratwurst and sauerkraut, this would be fantastic. And it's excellent like turkey wine and Christmas wine for sure. So
Mike Roberts, Wine Wednesday brought to you by Co-op Wine Spirits and Beer. Discover special offers and what's new in store. Sign up at coopwinespiritsbeer.com. Mike, thanks for this as always.
Thank you.